Hello, world. Here I am once again, Dr. Helen, founder and CEO, that's Chief Engagement Officer for Dr. Helen Holton and Associates, and your host for Dr. Helen Speaks, Strengths, Resilience, and Leadership. Welcome to the show today. As a strengths, resilience, and leadership coach, as always, it is my joy to take a stand for women leaders like you who show up here because you want more for your life and your leadership. And our goal is to move you closer to grabbing your greatness to gain your gold goddess status for the queen that you really are. Each week, we explore topics to discover, uncover, and unpack. That's right. Sometimes we got to break it down, but unpack those ways for you to leverage your strengths, the best of who you are that you have to offer to the world. How to understand and manage your weaknesses. Be clear, your weaknesses are never going to become your strengths, and the time that you spend trying to convert them is time you really could spend on doubling down and making your strengths really soar and excel, as only you can do. And to build your resilience. When life kicks you, and these days many of us are experiencing that in a myriad of ways, it's that resilience that gives you that extra to keep you going, giving, and being all of who you are in the face of the naysayers inside of yourself, that inner critic, and those in the world that just don't want to see you succeed. But we who show up here every week, we know better. Dr. Helen Holton and Associates, we use an innovative, heart-centered approach with proven results to help you achieve more success with less stress and a deeper fulfillment in life. What does success look like? When you step inside and look at our system of how we are approached to working with women leaders, what you will come up with some time, because it's not instantaneous, is ways in which to increase your performance, your productivity, and your prosperity potential, which is really important. And I love saying prosperity potential more so than profits, because you gain more than just an increase in your bank account or the bottom line of your business. And the bottom line does matter, but your prosperity potential can show up in having more joy in life, really knowing that what you're doing is influencing and having an impact on the world that only you can make. The joy about living, and the more you really get into who you are and understanding the best of who you are, you begin to develop a deeper appreciation for the unique imprint that only you can make in the world. And so it's really another way of getting your bottom line, your personal bottom line, to being as powerful as you can make it based on who you are. So as your show host, coach, trainer, facilitator, convener of leaders, we'll talk about how you can optimize your leadership. Now, it wouldn't be like me if I didn't start out with that question that always gets my juices flowing, and I hope it gets you thinking deeper about the best of who you are. And that is, do you have the opportunity to do what you do best every day? Do you have the opportunity? Well, I do. Some days it's more than others, but I wake up with a joy of, wow, I got another day to step into what fulfills me, what brings me joy, what keeps me moving forward in the face of challenges and difficulties. Because let's be clear, the road to success is not purely paved with gold that you can just step into it. Yes, there's some potholes along the way and other things that are there to remind you that it's not easy, but if you commit to it, you can make it happen. Well, I get the opportunity to do what I do best every day. And I want that for you because, truth be told, I'm living my best life ever. And it kind of just snuck up on me. And I say snuck up on me because I was doing the incremental things needed to be done to really live the life that I believe I was intended to live. It went from being subconscious to very conscious. And what we've learned is that one of the most effective ways to achieve success is to deepen your engagement factor. I like to call it the EFE, the engagement factor effect. It's your personal, unique path to what you really want for your life. And we're here to help you connect with yours through the best of who you are. After many years of research, and I'll say a little more about this later, I'm kicking off a new research study with women leaders, and I hope you'll agree to be a part of it. After many years of research, study, learning, giving up, failing forward, starting over, yes, I've done all those things, I realized that your ability to stick with what you believe and know to be true for you is key to your success. And, you know, as I said once before, nothing fast lasts. And I can't take ownership for those prophetic words. But my dad said that to me one day when I was just down in the dumps. I can't even remember what it was over, probably a failed relationship. And he said that to me. And I didn't get it initially when he told me. But can I tell you, delay doesn't mean denied. And sometimes we just have to wait. Patience is one of the most powerful tools that we can not lose sight of on the path to your personal greatness, what you bring to the world that no one else can bring. Truth be told, along this journey of life, you're going to hit some highs and some lows. Think about financial markets. As long as you're invested in your vision for success, your investment will keep growing and growing and growing in spite of those dips that are bound to happen. I tend to think of those dips as maybe we're taking it for granted. Maybe it's happening so fast. We're like, oh yeah, let it ride, let it ride. Whatever it may be. But it's that what I consider the reality that nothing keeps going up without falling down. Doesn't have to hit bottom, but it will take a dip. I think of it as that barometer that keeps us focused on staying true to who we are, what we're doing, to be mindful of those distractions, detours, and disappointments that are bound to come. Yeah. So our goal is to support you on your path to live your best life ever, to help you stick with your plan to achieve success on your terms that you get to set. Dr. Helen Speaks is here live on the Win Win Women TV network every Tuesday, 10 a.m. Pacific time and 1 p.m. Eastern time. You can always catch the show live, or you can catch it later on the Win Win TV network, Roku TV, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV. I invite you to follow me on LinkedIn at Dr. Helen Holton, where you can keep up with what's happening with Dr. Helen Speaks. And I'm working behind the scenes right now to even flush that out even more. And soon you'll be able to catch these episodes on my YouTube channel. So stay tuned. We'll share with you from the wisdom of lessons learned, lived experiences, and earned expertise from women leaders like you. We're here to ignite your spark or fuel your flame to think, do, and be more of what you envision for your life. And the more you do it with intention and purpose, people are going to start to take notice. If you're an entrepreneur, you'll find more opportunities coming your way. If you're an executive, you'll find that what may have been a sticking point seems to be not so sticky anymore. And if you're an emerging leader, hey, it's a great place to be because you're going to find ways that are going to shift the trajectory of your success in ways that you probably didn't even know were possible. Yeah. So we begin each show with an attitude of gratitude and a shout out to Paula Fellingham, the founder, visionary leader, and dream weaver of the Win-Win Women Network. Driven by her purpose to connect billions of women across this planet to learn, grow, share, motivate, and inspire each other's success while creating a connected global community, which brings us here together. How powerful is that? You know, dreams really do and can come true when you stay committed to them. As I said earlier, engagement is the key. It keeps you connected on a more conscious level and more in tune to how you relate, how we relate to one another. Engagement is embodied in how we live life every day, whether we recognize it or not. It's really at the core of who we are. It's our heart center. Yeah. It's that place we go to that we know what we know. And when we feel it on the inside, to know that it's really happening. So before we jump in, grab your note-taking device, pen, paper, sticky notes, tablet, computer, something, because we want you to capture the notable nuggets of wisdom, insight, and aha moments that serve to empower you to think, do, and be more of who you were created to be. We don't want you to miss anything. And just in case you do, you can always catch the replay from one of our outlets. You ready to go? Me too. Great. Let's do it. Our topic today is how balanced is your life for success? I know we hear about balance all the time, but let's just pause and look at what's happening in the world today that can put that very balance into imbalance. You know, the worries, you hear it quite a bit lately about rising inflation. Inflation hasn't risen at the pace it's rising today since 1985. That's quite some time ago. There may be someone listening to this show today that wasn't even here in 1985. However, that's a long time to be in this place that's not new. And as I often say, there's not a new thing under the sun. It's just a repeat of something that's happened before that presents itself a little differently. So at the beginning of the pandemic, many people in the workplace really felt like their employers or their customers genuinely cared about their well-being. Well, I'm here to tell you that that number has plummeted from being near 50% a couple years ago to 24% today, almost half of what it used to be. So if you're feeling like, well, gee, you know, I don't want to come back to the office full time. Can I flex time? Can it just be a couple days a week? All these things that employers are grappling with. It's changing how we live every day. What are you doing to move into that change in a way that really helps keep you intact? Thirdly, the great resignation is really real, and it's continuing to disrupt reality in unprecedented ways. And I'm just going to call out the hospitality industry. I have, you'll find that from my perspective, and as the world is beginning to open up and I'm starting to get out to travel to different places, yeah, the lines are a little longer at the airport. Hotel check-in might take longer. Oh, okay, they're not cleaning the rooms every day. You know, small things that make a big difference. And you have some industries that are like, hey, we're flush with people wanting to come and work for us. And there are others that are like, we can't get them in. We can't, and if we get them in, we can't keep them. All of these things. Oh, and lastly, the impact of the pain at the gas pump continues to ripple throughout our daily lives. So it's not just about the rising cost of gas. Think about our supply chain and the cost of food in the grocery store, the cost of menu items at your favorite restaurant. All of these things are impacted by inflation. And just recently, there was talk about, oh, we're moving towards another bubble in the real estate market. Is it any wonder why our path to success may seem a little strained these days? It doesn't mean that it's not moving forward. The bigger question is, at what cost is forward progress having? What's the price we really pay? I'll tell you, according to Gallup, the cost of poor well-being, you know what I talk about all the time, well-being, man, it is key to everything. That 75% of medical costs are mostly due to preventable conditions. Think about that. That undue stress that is occurring, that you think you have migraines or whatever, that's sending you to the doctors. There's $20 million of additional lost opportunity for every 10,000 workers either struggling or suffering. 10,000 is not that many when you think about the population of your state, your nation, or the world. But $20 million of additional lost opportunity. Wow. If you're an executive or entrepreneur, think about the impact that can have on the bottom line. Now, here's the kicker. $33 billion of turnover and lost productivity costs globally due to, what do you think? Burnout. I'm done. It's over. I got to get out of here, which feeds into some of the other things I've been talking about. The struggle is real. However, I've come to tell you there's a way to balance things out. It takes time. It takes intention. Yeah, but it's possible. I was sitting with a friend a few days ago, and we began to talk about feeling the overload, or just an overall imbalance. Work, 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 sitting in front of the computer, work, 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 not enough time to do this, and for all of the conveniences that you don't have to go to the grocery store and shop anymore, you can do Instacart. You can shop through your local grocery store that'll deliver your groceries to your door. Well, sometimes it's just good to get out and get some fresh air. Different from the past, and however, just as impactful, if not more so, is that overload or imbalance, it's a real occurrence these days for too many people, especially women. We are the burden bearers of our households, of our community engagement, the volunteer service we have. Yeah, it's crazy. We find ourselves juggling from one thing to the next, helping our kids out. Just the other day, a colleague was telling me, I was so excited when my child graduated from college and they went off and got a job. And I'm like, wow, I can take that bedroom and redecorate it, make it a sewing room, or, just a relaxation room. Maybe I'll make it a little personal workout room. Uh-oh. And here they come back home again. The Great Resignation, layoffs, people quitting, all of that. So I started to think about all these things. And really, it was the conversation I had with a girlfriend. And I was at home. Oh my goodness, I was watching YouTube, getting caught up on some things that I love, having subscriptions to regular things that come on, because I take time out sometimes to go back and watch them. And as I was watching a YouTube replay, oh my goodness, I had a wake-up call. And the speaker mentioned how we should avoid getting caught by PTSD. And I was like, post-traumatic stress disorder? I thought that happened, with military personnel and all of that. PTSD, what do you think about post-traumatic stress disorder? We've been hearing it for years. And interestingly enough, the speaker shared another meaning for the acronym. Can I tell you, it caused me to sit up and take notice. Not so much, first of all, when I heard what it was, but then secondly, as they unpacked what it meant, I was just like, yeah, this is some powerful stuff. I need to take a look at this. And it immediately caused me to hit pause on the overload of my life to take note. Post-traumatic slave disorder. That's right. I'm sitting here saying, wow, never heard that. And as the speaker went on to explain what it meant, it hit me. What are those things that you're doing in your life that you feel like, oh, I have to do this. And if I don't do it, it won't get done. And you find yourself burning the midnight oil, getting up before dawn, because you got to get these things off your list. You've taken responsibility for them and you got to make them happen. And it was very real. Because when I think about what does it mean when you think about what does it mean to be a slave? Okay, you do the work, you do the bidding for someone else and no one's paying you for it. No one's helping you figure it out. And you just keep doing it because you feel it's yours to own. At what cost? Get out of it. Just like post-traumatic stress disorder, what do we want to do? Help people balance that out. Help people to understand the source of their pain. It's the same thing, and understand it's okay to say no. It's okay to start out and say, you know what, I thought I could do this, but I'm not able to. It's all in how you approach it and your willingness to live. I want you to live. So how do we avoid the trap of PTSD? I'm going to give you 3 things. Number 1, accountability. Who are you accountable to more than yourself? We live with this notion that if we commit to something, oh, but I said I would do this, and I said I would do that. Oh, and I've got this over here. Oh, I forgot I told so-and-so I would take that on. Is it worth you disrupting your, what I would call life equilibrium in order to do that? No, it's really not. Accountability, be accountable to you. Sit down and take some time and write out. You know, I love writing out. Don't just send a text message to yourself. I want you to get pen and paper and write it down, because there's energy in how we take on those things that we want to get clarity around. And technology has made it real easy. The time it takes for you to type on your keyboard or to send yourself a message is different from the time it takes for you to, with pen and paper, write it down. Even as thoughts are coming up that you may not remember, write it down, because when you go back and look at it again, it may speak something differently to you. It may give you deeper insights into what you're looking to avoid. The struggle is real. Number 2, so number 1's accountability. Number 2, well-being, the balance of your well-being. You've got to grab this. You've got to grab it. As I just shared with you, when you look at the things that people are grappling with today, it's an imbalance in their overall well-being. And we're going to come back and spend some more time on this. I just realized we are now in the 2nd quarter of a new year. Yeah, we are. What are you doing to have it be better than the 1st quarter? And what lessons are you taking from that 1st quarter to move you into a new quarter? Yeah. You can decide you're going to do a do-over, whatever. It's up to you, but you've got to make that decision. Number 3, incorporating time to rest. And there's 3 here: time to rest, more time to have fun, and some alone time with you. Whether it's to meditate, to do yoga, to journal, just to sit and think about, what is it that I really want from my life? What am I doing to make it a priority? Stop allowing other people's agenda to dictate what your responsibilities are to you first. Because if you can't identify and own those, How are you going to achieve the success that you want for your life if you're putting everything else on top of what it is you really want? Which brings me to the point I mentioned earlier. I'm taking on a new project to really talk to women leaders. I would really love it if you would consider sharing 20 minutes of your time with me to help me do this research on how best women leaders, executives, entrepreneurs, and emerging leaders can come up with a better formula for your life to achieve more success with less stress and deeper fulfillment in life. Doesn't that pique your curiosity a little bit? It sure gets me excited. And so if you're interested in participating in my market research, please email me at engage, ENGAGE at drhelenholton.com. Engage, my word again, engage at drhelenholton.com. I'd love to know what you think. Yeah. So as we're winding down, I want you to think about again, how are you making time and space to do what you do best every day? How are you positioning yourself to do what you do best every day? So if you've already got it covered, that's great. It's something we share in common. If you think it needs to be tweaked, or you want to have a conversation about how you might reimagine that, reach out to me and we'll get some time together on the calendar. If you've picked up a few nuggets to stretch you to grow even more, then take action on something you've heard today. That's accountability. And then do it. That's the fulfillment of it. And if you want more support, reach out to me. I'm here. Let's talk about it. So wherever you are on your path to success is really exactly where you're supposed to be. No one can make that up. And if where you are is not where you want to be, you're the one that puts things in place to make that different. So I want to leave you with this. When you're making a major life change that is never very easy to do, and even though I say it's major, it really happens in incremental steps. But when you've reached that place and you know you want something different, something more for your life, it can be a little scary. You can feel like, no, I don't want to go there by myself. It's probably the time when you really need to stop and say, I may not want to go there, but I have to go there because it's about my life, my livelihood, my family, my health, my well-being. And oh, by the way, stepping into that uncomfortable place, you're bound to find those things that really bring you joy and peace and happiness and just a greater love and appreciation for life. Because, my dear, the struggle is real, but we don't have to take it on and own it. We really don't. But it does mean we need to acknowledge it and do something about it to not have it consume who we are, to keep us from really leveraging the best of who we are, understanding and managing our weaknesses. It begins with knowing what we're really good at, our strengths, and building that resilience. As I say, I wouldn't be here today without the impact of resilience in my life, of helping to live a more inclusive life and inviting others in. So at Dr. Helen Holton and Associates, we work with leaders like you. We use a heart-centered approach to help you optimize your strengths for more success with less stress and greater fulfillment in life. So keep coming back for more. Share our show with your friends and colleagues who may want more for their life too. I'm living my best life ever and want that for you too. What are you waiting for? Take action now. Join the community of Dr. Helen Speaks, Strengths, Resilience, and Leadership here on the Win-Win Women TV network, Roku TV, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV every Tuesday at 10 a.m. Pacific Time and 1 p.m. Eastern Time, where together we'll work with you to live your best life ever, doing what you do best every single day.